Welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you've been paying even a little bit of attention to e-commerce lately, you know it's just exploded. We're talking about a market that's completely transformed. Specifically, the dropshipping sector, it's projected to hit a massive $476.1 billion by 2026. I mean, that's just an astounding amount of capital flowing through digital storefronts. But, with that kind of massive growth comes some serious maturation. So today, we're cutting through the hype to map out exactly what it actually takes to build a sustainable, profitable dropshipping business in 2026.
Right off the bat, though, I gotta hit you with a pretty harsh reality. 80 to 90% of new dropshipping stores, they completely fail in their very first year. Why? Because the days of lazy, easy arbitrage are totally over. You literally cannot just throw up a basic storefront, run some generic ad, and expect to print money anymore. The competition is fierce, and honestly, customer expectations are just way higher now.
So, to avoid becoming part of that 90%, we really need to nail down what we're actually dealing with here. Dropshipping is basically just a retail fulfillment method where your suppliers store the inventory and then ship it directly to your end customer. So you get to operate without buying all that inventory up front. Your job is strictly building the digital storefront, marketing the products, and keeping the customer happy. The supplier does all the heavy lifting with the physical product, the warehousing, and the shipping. You're the brand, you're the bridge.
To get you operating like a pro, we've broken our roadmap into 6 quick steps. We'll cover the 2026 dropshipping reality, how dropshipping actually works, dropshipping versus traditional retail, finding your profitable niche, essential tools and automation, and finally, scaling and customer experience. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the 2026 dropshipping reality. Let's set some grounded expectations for what this business model really looks like today.
Let me be super clear about this. Dropshipping in 2026 is definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it absolutely remains an incredibly powerful, legitimate business model. Honestly, it's probably the single greatest tool out there to test new product ideas, build an initial brand presence, and generate revenue while being totally location independent. And the absolute best part, you get to do all of this without the crushing financial burden of dumping thousands of dollars into inventory that, frankly, might never even sell. It's an amazing, agile testing ground.
Moving right along to Section 2, how dropshipping actually works. Let's break down the fundamental mechanics of a transaction.
Okay, picture this. You're selling a wireless phone charger on your Shopify store. Here's how the money and the product actually flow. Step 1, your customer visits the site. They buy it and pay you the retail price, let's say $29.99. Step 2, your store automatically sends that order over to your supplier. You pay their wholesale cost, maybe $12.50 plus a $5 shipping fee, and you pocket the remaining $12.49 as your gross margin. Then, step 3, the supplier goes into their warehouse, picks the item, packs it, and ships it straight to your customer in California or wherever. The physical product literally never touches your hands.
All right, Section 3, dropshipping versus traditional retail, which is actually better. You really have to see the massive difference in financial barriers here. For startup capital, traditional e-commerce usually demands anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 up front just to stock up on inventory. Dropshipping, you can comfortably launch for $200 to $500, and that directly ties into your risk level. Traditional retail has this huge risk of inventory obsolescence, which is basically a fancy way of saying you could end up stuck with a garage completely full of stuff nobody wants to buy. Dropshipping is incredibly low risk because you never hold unsold items. You only ever buy the product after the customer has already paid you for it.
But, and this is absolutely crucial, there's a trade-off. You can't get something for nothing, right? Because you're dodging that huge upfront risk and not buying in bulk, your profit margins in dropshipping are permanently thinner. A traditional retail store can command 50 to 70% margins thanks to wholesale bulk discounts. With dropshipping, once you pay your supplier and cover your ad spend, you're realistically looking at 20 to 40% profit margins. That's just the price of admission for having flexibility and keeping your upfront risks so low.
Section 4, finding your profitable niche. This is where we get into the real execution. This is the single decision that makes or breaks 90% of stores. You've got to be strategic and find that sweet spot. First, you want strong demand signals. We're talking rising trajectories on Google Trends, not fads that have already crashed. Next, you absolutely need products that give you a 3x markup potential to protect those thinner margins we just talked about. Try to target an impulse-friendly price range, usually between $20 and $80, where people just buy without overthinking. And please avoid high return risk categories. Generic apparel, for example, has a 20% plus return rate just because of sizing issues. That will completely crush a beginner. You're way better off sticking to evergreen, low-complication trends like home office accessories or maybe pet travel gear.
Section 5. Essential tools and automation, because doing everything manually is a recipe for burnout.
Look, if you're sitting there manually copying and pasting tracking numbers all day, you aren't running a business. You've just given yourself a highly stressful data entry job. Platforms like eSync integrate right into your store using APIs to do all the heavy lifting for you. They handle the bulk product importing, but more importantly, they give you real-time stock and price monitoring. So if your supplier randomly jacks up their wholesale cost overnight, eSync uses dynamic repricing rules to instantly adjust your retail price. It fiercely protects your margins, and you don't even have to lift a finger.
It's pretty mind-blowing, actually. By using these automation tools, you cut down your manual admin work by an astounding 90%. And this isn't just about saving time, it's about your personal capacity. This level of automation is exactly how a solo entrepreneur can scale up a store to manage over 100 daily orders totally independently. No need to go out and hire a massive support team right away.
Finally, Section 6, Scaling and Customer Experience, the ultimate reality check.
I really want you to take this next part to heart. The customer only sees your brand. They have no idea who your supplier is, and frankly, they don't care. Every shipping delay, every single damaged item, or confusing return policy, that's a direct reflection on you. Since international dropshipping can easily take 7 to 14 days, managing your customers' expectations is honestly your biggest job. You've got to use tools like Klaviyo for automated email updates. Tell them the second the label is created. Give them updates while it's in transit. Trust me, being upfront and honest early on prevents nasty chargebacks and furious emails later.
So how does this actually turn into a scalable system? Well, once you get some momentum, you need to establish standard operating procedures, SOPs, for exactly how you handle things like refunds and delays. Then, you hand those SOPs off to part-time virtual assistants for, say, $5 to $10 an hour to run the day-to-day. Next, take your profits and reinvest them into user-generated content to keep your ads looking fresh. But the ultimate evolution, it's transitioning to the hybrid model. You use dropshipping to safely test the waters, but once you find a clear winner that consistently sells, you negotiate a bulk purchase for that one specific item and use a third-party logistics warehouse. That is how you unlock those juicy traditional retail margins while keeping your overall risk super low.
Before we wrap this up, I really need to anchor your expectations. Realistically, how long does all of this take? Well, it generally takes 3 to 6 months of patient testing, constantly tweaking your ad creatives, and yes, spending some actual money on ads before you find consistent, reliable profitability. The line between success and failure in this industry? Honestly, it usually just comes down to informed persistence.
Which leaves us with one final thought to close out this explainer. The 2026 dropshipping landscape is incredibly ripe with opportunity, but it demands professionalism, data-driven decisions, and just a relentless focus on the customer experience. The tools are absolutely all there, and the roadmap is crystal clear. So the question is, are you going to put in the work to build a real, sustainable business? Or are you going to chase easy money and join the 90% who fail? The choice is entirely yours.